Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise. And before I get into my review this week, I'm going to start with my favorite actor. And my favorite actor this week is Morgan Freeman. I thought he would be appropriate this week because he just gave a very loving tribute to his late friend Gene Hackman at the Academy Awards last week. So I thought it would be appropriate that he is my favorite actor. Of course, his range is enormous, but some of my favorites, and my favorite is Shawshank Redemption. And then we have Glory, Driving Miss Daisy, and $1 Million Baby. So Morgan Freeman is my favorite actor this week. All right, folks, I'm going to jump into my review. And my review this week is a movie titled Last Breath. It stars Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, Finn Cole, Bobby Rainsbury, Mark Bonnar, Myanna Buring, Joseph Alton, and Cliff Curtis. Those last four individuals are significant. They play significant supervisory roles in this movie, so I thought they should be mentioned. So this movie, first of all, has a running time right in my wheelhouse, folks. You know, I'm a 90-minute girl, and it was well worth the 90 minutes. This is a true story that follows a deep sea diving mission. You've got a very seasoned veteran deep sea diver. You've got a deep sea diver who has been on various missions, but he's like the top dog. And then you have we call him, like, let's say, a junior deep sea diver who's been on a few dives, but he's pretty good and he's learning the ropes. So on this particular mission, he's got two people who are very, very skilled at what they do. And so he's going to learn a lot from them. So I did not know this was a true story. I didn't know anything about this movie. I'd almost forgotten that it was in theaters. So, and I'm glad I did not know it was a true story. So what happens is this movie takes place in the North Sea off the coast of Scotland. So when the movie comes on, you see this beautiful, beautiful, lush scenery of Scotland. And so in this particular mission, you've got pipes, that run throughout the ocean, on the ocean floor, that run for thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. Well, in one particular section, there's a problem and it needs to be repaired. So they've got to go hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet deep down into the ocean floor. It's quite cold down there. So they're about 300 feet down. I mean, down. It's cold and it's dark. So what I liked about this movie, one of the things I liked about it was, as the setup of the movie and the mission is about to occur, they're kind of, you see on the screen just little tidbits of information that, of course, I didn't know, but I thought it was a good addition to the film to give you an idea of just how detailed this particular job is. And the movie also states that this type of job is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. So right there, I'm like, okay, what am I about to watch? Well, as the gentleman, they're on a larger ship, but they have to spend time preparing in these cylinders. So think of a submarine. It's kind of shaped like just a big cylinder underneath this ship where you have three different crews, an A, a B, and a C crew, and they're all preparing their bodies for this mission. So you have to adjust to the different temperature. You have to adjust to being in a very closed environment. And so that takes a couple of days to assimilate to. And then you suit up and then you go down one at a time to complete the mission. So, of course, our veteran, who's played by Woody Harrelson, he stays up top in this small cage-like structure, feeding information. So they're relaying information and telling them what to do. They've got, sonars, they've got radar, they can see what's going on. Well, once they get down into this section where they've got to, make this repair, a problem occurs. And the two divers that are down there, the bottom of the sea, know that, we got to abort, there's a problem. Well, as they are trying to escape and get back up to the cage where they, were housed, one of them gets stuck. And they are tethered by very, 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 very long coiled rope. They call it the umbilical cord. So they're both got their own tethers, but they've got to climb up these tethers to get back to safety. Well, one of them is stuck. And so there the tension begins. Not only is he stuck and can't get loose, the ship is experiencing bad weather. So there's a storm happening. So you've got the ship itself being tossed about in this bad weather, which is kind of, causing a situation where the two divers could be jostled off course, so to speak. So you've got one diver who is able to free himself, but then you've got another diver who is stuck. And now we have an issue where he's got a certain amount of time before he loses his oxygen. And you talk about tense and terrifying. First of all, it's claustrophobic. I'm sitting there in the theater, and once they put the big, helmet on their head and lock them in, I'm automatically, claustrophobic because the breathing has to be regulated. So you've got the young diver who's already hyperventilating almost, but then is being instructed, regulate your breathing, calm down your breathing. So that's tense right there. So you've got the ship that is, being jostled around by the elements, and then the supervisory staff has decisions to make. Once they realize that one person is still down below and most likely lost because currents could have taken him away or lost in terms of his life, they have decisions to make. Do we press on and just leave this person there? Or do we change course? What do we do? So not only do you have a tense situation down below, you have a tense situation above where all of these supervisors have to put their heads together and come up with a solution and decide what is the best course of action to save this person and what is the best course of action for the crew, because one false move and the crew can be in danger as well. So if you want to see teamwork, and I mean teamwork between the divers, the crew, the supervisors. There was no ego involved in any level, hierarchy of who's in charge and who isn't. It was, you need to do your job and we need to work together to figure this out, or we're going to have big, big problems. Stay for the credits. Just stay for the credits. I don't want to, give too much away, but you got to watch this. And when you stay for the credits, obviously there's more information about this true story. But you talk about having communication between crew members and your staff. This movie nailed it. So that is my review for this week. Last breath. Remember to breathe. Breathe. It is a gift. All right, I'm going to jump into my Nailed It. And my Nailed It this week comes from the movie Cool Hand Luke. And, movies have iconic lines. Sometimes a movie can have iconic line that you just repeat at random. And I'm one of those people. But this movie, Strother Martin as the warden at the federal prison camp was tired of Paul Newman's nonsense and just not following directions. And the line that he says, "What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach." That gets me every time. The delivery itself with that hard Southern accent, I think made it even better. So Strother Martin from the movie Cool Hand Luke is my Nailed It for this week. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on BlueSky at HYSI. All right, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.